feel about being part of that tradition in carrying on the culinary culture of making indigenous sweets of Tobago?
I am very proud. I am very grateful to be able to take tradition, culture, and package it and put it out there on a shelf, right? We do ginger nut cake, sugar cake, various types of sugar cake. So we do the chip sugar cake with the ginger and that kind of stuff too. Pawpaw ball, aka lime ball, tulum, red mango, red cherry, red plum, red pomsity, bene balls, sticks, squares and biscuits, different shapes. We also do fudge, a variety of flavors. Some of them are export ready, some of them are not export ready. I didn't do any testing for those other flavors.
Is there a particular products, confectionery that you like making, that you enjoy, the process of manufacturing?
I like making all. Listen, I like my job. This is one of the rare instances where some people that do manual labor actually say, I like what I do. I like creating things with my hands, and it gives me pleasure when other people enjoy it.
What's the most popular products among customers?
Of course, it would be the red product. And among the red product, the plum. That finishes first, and they buy more of that one product. But besides the red product, all of the products sell really well. All of them sell really well.
Have you experienced any challenges as a business owner in the confectionery industry that you've had to overcome?
There are always a lot of challenges. Global warming is affecting the growth of fruits, seeds, and nuts. Recently, sesame seed went up again, as recently as last week I'm speaking about. That is because the quantity is hard to come by, and that is due to global warming. The same thing is happening with plums, cherries, and mangoes. They are not as bountiful as they used to be, so the scarcity is forcing raise high prices for raw material products. So those are the two biggest challenges we have: global warming, and when there are rules in the FD&C, Food, Drug and Chemistry, that it causes us to have to change our recipes and our processes. So it's always a lot of work to get it back on track, back to approval stage.
You talked a lot about the importance of standardization. Tell us about that from your perspective as a confectionery maker.
Okay, so before we did the standardization process, we still had a process, but we eyeballed everything. We use the ancestors, that is enough, my child. But when we came into standardization, they taught us to weigh what we eyeball. And if we need to add more, you wait, you add it up, and that kind of stuff. Because it is very important to have a standardized recipe with weights so that you can add preservatives and additives according to measurements for human consumption. Because you don't want to just put a whole spoon or something when all you needed was a quarter teaspoon or something like that.
Tell us about your journey to being able to export our local products on the global stage.
Coming out of COVID, in 2022, we were selected for a program with Export TT, now Global TT, to enhance the products, to put them on shelves. And we were trying to also revive businesses that suffered during the COVID period. The training was easy to adjust to the good manufacturing practices, the HACCP practices that teach about cross-contamination and allergens and that kind of stuff. We got a lot of support from Global. We got some packaging. So they just didn't give us theory and then didn't help us with practical. They did. They helped us with our packaging. We had to submit our designs and labels and stuff. And where we went wrong, they had professionals come in, tell us where our mistakes are, what size of font you have to use, all these little things, right? And in that aspect, Global was perfect. They really trained us well for the markets, and I am grateful for that. BDU was also involved. I consider Trinidad as a local export, right? BDU gave me that exposure first. They took me to TIC last year, and The response was overwhelming. It was a beautiful experience for me. And international buyers, local buyers. We had crowds of people by the table waiting for samples, wanting pictures.
You can reach out to Joefield Enterprise via phone at 707-5486. Check out the company's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram pages, or go to their website, joefieldsenterprise.com. You can also visit Joefield Enterprise at booths 3 and 5 at the Port of Scarborough, Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.